Hello again, Hedge here. You may have seen my most recent video where I explained how I've learned the mechanics of the Rust store and have been buy ordering skins at a cheaper price. But did you ever consider where that leads to? Well, in this video I want to show you the best time to sell those Rust skins and items and how I prepare for it.
Brought to you by Hedge. For all you investors out there, it's time for another Rust Economy 101 video.
Christmas momentum. But what is this? Well, this is a pattern I see happen yearly and take part in because, of course, this has to do with buying and selling Rust skins and items, maximising the best potential profits. Learning this through experience, I prepare myself for every year now, where I've gradually been increasing my stock of skins and items in my inventories on my Steam accounts. But now, this year, there is something different. As of April 2021, I started streaming, and a lot of my content there has contributed to the videos I'm making like this one. Notably, I've kept track of myself streaming my long-term plans back in July 2021. Through many clips from my streams, I will now provide to you a look into my journey. So sit back and watch the development of me preparing for Christmas time, enduring a Steam market crash, and tracking my progress during the month of December and post-Christmas. July 25, 2021. So back in the summer of 2021, I had got into the groove of streaming and started showing off the things I do in the Steam market. That led to me talking about Steam economies I'm invested in, which of course leads us to Rust. So on this day, I decided to talk about long-term investing and making the best profits with holiday-themed skins and items. Explaining how Rust has holiday events that usually take place for holidays such as Halloween and Christmas, with in-game activities and special features being added. I then showed how I was prepared, having invested in Halloween and Christmas skins and items from the previous year, having bought them at a cheaper price thanks to buy orders. But what exactly has motivated me to buy out such an amount of stock of skins and items? Well, for context, I spoke with examples. Firstly, the Christmas door wreath. Christmas wreath. Quite cheap, but same thing. Comes out at Christmas, not Christmas. Wait, oh god, sorry. Christmas, not Christmas, Christmas, not Christmas, Christmas, not Christmas, Christmas, not Christmas. Getting there though. So it keeps trending upwards and downwards, and upwards and downwards, and upwards and downwards. What do you see here? That is the potential, the thing to be done, the thing to be made. What do you see? You see an item that reliably always goes back up in price. At one point, it can be as much as 5 times less the amount of money that you can sell it for at Christmas time. Now, I do repeat myself, you've got to be a bit cautious, right? You have to be aware that this item does get reintroduced every Christmas. It gets reintroduced with... I'm pretty sure I was clear and straight to the point there, but what about skins? Well, I decided to talk about my experience in buying Christmas gang pants and hoodies at just the right time the previous year. Well, but not as much. So last year is here. So around June time, they're about 69.70p, and I bought like 100 of each, knowing that at Christmas time they were going to go up in price. Lo and behold, as Christmas approached, they went up to about 3 times as much money. Now, it obviously wasn't its all-time high there, but who cares? I tripled my money that I invested in it. Bought 100 of them for what? £60? That means I got about £100 back, £180 back. About £120 profit. Just by buying pants, 100 of these pants and 100 of these hoodies. They got very high in demand because people like to dress up as Santa with the Santa mask as well, and raid people. You know, people have a cruel sense of devilishness in them, in Rust. It's just the way things are, unfortunately. I hope you understand what's been addressed so far, aside from people really enjoying raiding and destroying bases just as Santa Claus. It's that these skins and items can be seen as reliable investments once you understand the context, once you realise the demand for them. But how reliable can they be? October 23. Something happened. Something bad happened. And it wasn't even in Rust. In September, Counter-Strike Global Offensive released a new operation. Think like a battle pass with a special set of missions given out weekly over the course of several months. Well, this launch, they introduced some very valuable skins, which I explained on October 23rd, 2021. Hello. Why am I starting a Rust talk with CSGO? What's going on? Well, first of all, I'd like to talk about the current situation on the Steam market. So today, it is the 23rd of October 2021. Literally 4 weeks ago, we had an update in Counter-Strike Global Offensive, which was the Operation Riptide update. Now, with an introduction of new cases, new agents, and new skin collections, this caused the current marketplace crash that we're currently going through. There was a big market crash. So what happened was, we got a new set of skins. I mean, that's nice, but that's just from this case. A new set of knives, which was introduced into this case as well, which was nice. But the main thing that happened were these three, that one, these three collections, and then of course there's Train, but Train isn't as special. So basically what happened was, we got some new CSGO collection skins, and they are very expensive and very in demand. You are currently looking at an AWP that is selling for around $3,000. You're currently looking at an AK-47 that's currently selling for who knows what. I'm not sure how much a factory new has sold for, but you can imagine this is going to be very expensive. And this imminent danger item, they're all expensive. So if you can imagine, all these top of the chain skins, they are very in demand. People want them. This led to the collection becoming a very, very, very invested in collection. All three of these. Train not so much. Train's a different story. That one works in a different way, so this one isn't as invested. However, you can get special gamma Dopplers, which people have been chasing, but this collection doesn't matter as much. So loads and loads of people seeing these super rare skins for, okay, I'm going to drop everything I own, I'm going to put money towards this collection. Or they might have turned around and said, no, I'm going to put my money towards this collection, I want this AK-47 instead. Or elsewhere they might have dropped all their money and said, no, I'm going to go for this imminent danger instead. So basically what's happened is everybody started dumping what they had to get as much Steam wallet as they could, and they started chasing these sort of skins. This led to so many items on the Steam market, not just Counter-Strike skins, but like in TF2, in Dota, in Rust. All of our skins went down in price because people stopped buying them, they just wanted to sell them instead. And this is all because of these new collection skins that came out in the CSGO Operation Riptide event. And it wasn't very fun, because if you see the status of these skins at the moment, in Rust for instance, things got really bad. Like, pretty much every single item at least went down by about 25%, maybe more. It's been a very bad time to sell items in Rust. Great time to buy though, trust me. If you have tons of money, great time to buy. The current situation is, like I said, it is the 23rd of October. Christmas is literally 8 weeks away. And let me tell you, just leading up to Christmas and just after Christmas, and pretty much most of January, is the best time to sell skins. So unfortunately, there was a market crash. Not to mention, the first Counter-Strike major tournament during the pandemic was also about to happen during this time. People were mostly trying to sell their Rust stuff, which caused prices to decrease lower and lower. The Rust economy was suffering, and more valuable content was being added to Counter-Strike. What with the introduction of special gold team stickers and special souvenir skins that came in the packages. But even though it was technically a bad time to sell skins, if you had the funds, now is a great time to buy in. Notable items that were sold in store for valuable prices had got real cheap, such as the fireworks kit, which was sold at $10 in store, but got as cheap as $5 on the Steam market during the crash. But my intentions led me back to Christmas themed items. See, I had put down many buy orders for Christmas items and skins during this time, and I happened to pick quite a lot of them up. Christmas. I have been buying Christmas things. Christmas there. Do I have the garlands in this account? I do. So garlands is another Christmas item. These are your door decorations. Yep, 1, 2. The price I was buying them at is $1.70. That's just under $2.50. But same situation. The lead up to Christmas rises, 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 rises. Then it gets reintroduced, goes down. And then leading up to the next Christmas, rises, rises, rises. Reintroduced, goes down. Rises, rises, rises. Reintroduced, down. We are expecting these to go up more in price. We are talking like into the first week of December. Then you sell them, and you should probably make double or triple your money back. But if you invested in them earlier, that's when you'd make the most money. But it's the same situation that I was talking about. The cheapest it's ever been, March, April time. Cheapest it was during this period of time, April, March, April. Again here, March, April. March and April is when the holiday items always are at their worst. Great time to start making your buy orders. Like, of course, here I did $1.70. Right now I could sell any of the ones that I bought at around $3.60 on a buy order. So I'd instantly make money. But I'm not. I'm going to wait till it gets closer to Christmas, then I'll sell. Because I know from experience and what I just showed you, the closer it gets to Christmas, the more they rise up in price. Santa's front door, £1.20. Yes, I had put buy orders down back in January 2021, expecting prices for the festive garlands to drop to the lowest around springtime, but this recent market crash had also led to me picking up some more cheap ones. It wasn't just items though, it worked with skins I had anticipated highly for Christmas too, such as the Santa's front door. I jumped in, put my buy order down, and now it's already rising in price because Christmas is getting closer and closer. We've stagnated due to the recent market crashes, but now the trend is beginning. Towards the end of October, we now start to see this trend starting to happen. It's beginning, and I've bought over 100 of those Santa doors. I'm not joking. 1, 2, 3, 4 and a bit. 102 Santa doors. I bought them for really cheap. I expect to sell them for at minimum double the price, but my expectation is it's going to go as high as last year, and I'm going to sell them for about $4 a piece. Hopefully. So I sell them for around triple the price that I bought them at. And things like that you can see with every sort of like Christmas skin. I can't seem to find any at the moment, but you get the idea. Christmas skins do very well in the lead up to Christmas. People feel the anticipation. Investors jump in. They put their money into things. They will invest. They will see the items rise in price. They'll buy in as well as it starts rising. So if you get in earlier, you're going to be a whole lot more safer because other people do notice these trends. Like Santa furnace. Here you go. Look at this ugly thing. Look at it. It's so daft looking, but people love it because Christmas. Now, you may question why I acquired so many of this door skin. Well, from experience really. You see, I saw this door skin rise in price twice in the previous Christmases, so I was comfortable to buy as many as I did. That could easily happen. We're 8 weeks away, guys. 8 weeks away. Start making considerations. Start considering, what do people want? The reason why I buy this door is because I noticed how high it would go the previous 2 Christmases. It also glows in the dark. It's very Christmassy looking. You know, I need to sell these though when I can, because this isn't going to do well after Christmas. It's not going to. People aren't going to want the Christmassy themed stuff after Christmas, are they? And then it will go down to its lowest price around March, April time. So that's when I know when to start restocking again, or at least put a buy order down and slowly buy them out over time. 8 weeks to go. I just had to endure this Steam market crash. November 25. 4 weeks to go, but action is about to start. The time to start selling Christmas related things is soon. But first, I want to address the idea of player count having an influence on the Rust economy. Well, back here in November, I explained just that. Christmas. Christmas is the best time to sell your items. Christmas is when loads of people get given money as gifts around Christmas, or be it possibly Steam wallet codes, and then they use their money and Steam wallet codes to buy as many games as much as they can, because obviously it's Steam, that's where you buy and play games. But of course, some people would like to put their money towards buying cosmetics, or buying items, or knives, or gun skins. You know, you obviously know what I'm talking about. So that is when we tend to get the biggest amount of money pumped in to Rust all year. That period of time is the most crazy. What am I trying to say? It's when we get the biggest momentum boost to the economy. Loads of money gets pumped in. Everybody's buying items. Everybody wants to buy items. And because of the time off, because obviously around Christmas time, we tend to have no school, we tend to have less work, people are able to play Rust. And as we know, Rust is a commitment. You have to put and devote time into making a base, protecting it. You get the idea, you know, you play it. So that means there's going to be a lot more interest back into Rust. Just to justify that, you can actually see on the Steam charts. Steam charts, Rust. Every Christmas and every summer, the numbers go up. So can you see the pattern? Green for December, January, then it goes down. And then it gets to summer, green, and then it goes down. And now it's going up again because we're approaching Christmas. This is what happens every year. Now, last Christmas, we also had the special OTV event. Now, it wasn't really a scheduled event, rather, it was just a very amazing, lucky coincidence in that loads of streamers started playing together on Rust, and everything was streamed. And loads and loads and loads of new people started looking at Rust. They bought Rust, they played Rust, and they bought skins. And during this period of time, between December 2020 and February 2021, we saw, on average, most skins triple in price. That was spectacular. It was amazing. Like, at that time, I had a few thousand skins. I sold most of them, and I made a ton of money. That was very fun for me. But on average, usually, you'd expect maybe to double your money as we approach Christmas time. So every period of time, December to January is when you get the most amount of people playing, and then June and July. Like I said, loads of people have time off work and school. Same as with June and July, mostly for school though, because kids have summer off. American kids have summer vacation, which is 3 months, isn't it? A long period of time, which normally encompasses June and July. So that's what you will see. you'll see a lot of people playing around Christmas time, and you'll see a lot of people playing around summertime. And that's when you see the high numbers, and that's when you see the money and the prices of items go up. So you can clearly see a pattern here. This is also usually when we don't have any special holiday events. So Christmas, of course, is December. In Rust, we also have... the main ones will be Christmas and Halloween. Now, we've just had Halloween. Let's go back up to 2021. And we had quite a decent amount of people playing back then, but it wasn't anything compared to a few months ago. In fact, we had around 100,000 people playing on average, yet compared to August, when it's the summer, we had 150,000. What's going on here? This is still the period of time where people have school and are working. Yes, we had a very nice Halloween event happen, but it only lasted 1 week, which is odd. Like previous years, we've had it lasting for 2 weeks. Anyway, not that many people played. It didn't give a massive boost to the economy. But as we approach Christmas, the numbers are starting to pick up again, and the prices of items should start to pick up again. So this is just a visual in terms of when people are around and playing the game, that is usually a key indicator that prices are going to go back up. And as you can see, we're back in the green, and we're going to start seeing more and more people playing Rust again, and we're going to start seeing the prices go up and up again. Because people who are playing the game want to have the nice meta skins, the play skins, whatever you call it. They might want to make sets and stand out with their group, their clan, their base, you name it. With that covered, I now want to bring up the dilemma of when to sell Christmas items. See, I am perfectly happy to be selling my Christmas skins as of December 1st, but I might want to hold out with my items to maximise my potential profit. So, sorry, this just trying to get to here. How many have I bought? 24. I spent, alright, let's do the math. 24 times £1.70, that's 40.8, and I think I could do 40.8 times 3. I'm going to make about $100 just because I turned around, saw the patterns, realised the low point, put a buy order down for that low point, bought 24 of them, waited until Christmas. So I was buying them for £1.70, now they're £4.45, and they will go higher. The high point usually reaches at around £7 or £6. This is around $10. So whilst I was buying these for around $2.40, I hope to sell these for around $10. That is the profit I was going to make. Simply because I put the effort in, learned of the history, and put down my buy order. That's it. That's all you have to do. And yeah, I don't know how else you could possibly not understand that. It's not too hard, is it? This is an item though. So yes, if I don't manage to sell these fast enough, it's going to be reintroduced. So yes, as you can see here, the anticipation for Christmas goes up and up and up and up, and then it's reintroduced, and then it goes down, down. This is something you can act upon. So I realised that every middle of December, the price goes down because that's the week that it's going to be, the items are going to be reintroduced. I have about 3 weeks to sell these garlands. But in a situation I'm in right now, I could make very nice profits regardless. But this is the situation. I need to sell them. But when is the best time to sell them? If I wait a bit longer, I could make more money. But I have to make sure I sell them before. I reckon it'll be December 16th when they reintroduce... when they start selling the new Christmas skins and reintroducing the Christmas holiday items. Skins are textures, items are unique items that introduce a fun cosmetic ability or effect. In this particular instance, it's just purely decoration, but it's very Christmassy decoration. So like I said, make use of scmm.app, go to the store, right? Click this, let it load up. It's not going to be slow for everyone, it's just slow for me for some reason. Now you can click here and go to the past. You can drag it along, no you can't. So click here, I'm now on 2020. Here is the Christmas time, click this. This is Christmas, the first Christmas set. So we get 2 weeks of skins, with each week being set different types of skins. Everything from here has actually gone down in price. Oh wow, that's but then again we've just had a very bad Steam market crash, and the prices of the items are still badly affected. But like as you can see here, you can see all the items that were reintroduced. So snowman, Christmas door wreath, festive garlands, snow machine, deluxe Christmas lights, Santa beard, neon sign pack. Every year they get reintroduced and they get sold at their store price. So you saw how my garlands are currently selling for £4.45, which currently is equal to $5.95. When the Christmas stuff sells in the Rust store again, they are going to be brought back down to their store price, which is $3.49, which for me is about £2 something. Not very good. Not as good as what I currently have. So I figured out a deadline. That is December 16th. That is the day I'm sure the Rust store will have its first week of Christmas skins and reintroduce the Christmas items. Making good use of scmm.app helped me keep track of data, such as looking at the pricing for what previous year's skins sold for during Christmas. The anticipation for Christmas is about to begin, but what hasn't properly been addressed yet is the post-Christmas aftermath. But what you can do right now is check the Rust Steam market, have a look around, look at all the Santa stuff, look up all the Christmas stuff, look at these items, look and see if there are demand for these skins. Get invested. Invest at the right price. Bide your time. Wait it out. Put down the right price. Wait for the perfect time, which currently is what I'm doing. And then, when the time is right, sell your skins, sell your items, like I am here. I've got this all primed and ready, along with my Santa doors and my calendar garage doors. You know, oh, trust me, buddy, I've got tons of these. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. I've also got the Christmas rocks, North rock, festive pudding rock. I am ready. I am prepared. I've got the investments already. I know what I'm doing. Do you? Evil snowman assault rifle. Yeah. We're gonna make some very good money. Now, like I said, it's not just Christmas stuff. Christmas stuff will go up in price during the anticipation for Christmas, but after Christmas is when everything goes up in price. Because, as I said, between Christmas, so December 25th to February, so during Christmas, loads of people get gifted money, they buy games and they buy skins and whatnot. During Christmas, we have about 2 weeks off. Loads of people don't work, loads of people don't have to go to school, so they play games, and of course people are going to be playing Rust. The population in Rust will go up and up and up. Loads of people will be playing again. Loads of investment will be brought back into Rust. And then, of course, during all of January, it will maintain itself for a bit. And then we reach February. And then in February, we have Chinese New Year. And that's when loads of Chinese people and people of descent, they get loads of money as well. And then they invest into the Rust market as well. So Rust gets a lot of investment between December to February, but then we have a bit of a drought as we reach March and April. March and April, the best time to buy your Christmas and your Halloween skins and items. That is the lull period, the period of time when items reach their lowest. But that also tends to be the time when the prices rise and then anticipation sets in for the holiday, and as it gets closer and closer and closer for the holiday, the item reaches its all-time highs. But then the items get reintroduced and they go down. But for the skins only go down in price once the holiday ends. Like so. Santa's front door. It's not an item. It does not get reintroduced. It just loses value when the holiday ends. So the skins always get the boost of anticipation. So as you see here, the lowest point was in March, and then it stagnates, and then anticipation sets in, and as we reach Christmas time, boom, high point, wonderful. But then the Christmas ends, and then the price goes down and down and down, and then it reaches March again. Does that make sense? Do you understand? Do you get it? Does it all make sense now? There are patterns. Everything happens in a pattern every single year. Everything happens routinely. You just have to learn of what you're potentially buying into, like I did here on this account. I learned the low point for the Santa's front door from the past experiences of looking at the history. I did my buy order. I bought over 100 of these, and now as we approach Christmas they are rising and rising in price. As the quantity goes down, demand is obviously getting increased because we are getting closer and closer and closer to Christmas time. This is profit. This is making an effective investment. Put the effort in, investigate, learn, put your money down, wait it out, profit. Good. And then start all over again, because of course with Christmas it's going to go down in price the very second Christmas ends. And I'll be there, to make money. And you can too. We can all do it together. What a wonderful time. My stock is ready in my inventories. My deadline for Christmas items is set at December 16, and my understanding that Christmas themed skins will suffer eventually after Christmas. I kind of dipped into talking about price history again, making use of the Christmas door wreath, but I wanted to differentiate that Christmas items will lose their increased value before Christmas, specifically when they are reintroduced again. Whereas Christmas themed skins will only start to gradually lose their value as Christmas is over. But I also made mention of post-Christmas momentum, where most skins will rise in price due to the increased player count and the extra money those players got from gifts. This will be seen later on. As for now, I am prepared to make the best out of profiting during December during the anticipation hype. December 1st. Today is the day. It's time to take part in the anticipation action. So, I've got myself prepared by spreading my skins and items across my accounts. This is to try and ensure each account can raise funds gradually without issue. In theory, I also don't want to accidentally compete with myself, and by that I mean listing the same skin on more than one account but competing to sell them at lower prices. That would just lower the values and negatively affect my profits. Anyways, let's hear from myself on this day and see what I was considering. Now, if I feel the need to make some money, I could sell some now. I've got 31 of them. I have to debate with myself, is now the best time? With a skin like that, because I've seen the history, I can see it's got a very good potential to rise in price to quite a decent amount of money. So I feel the need that, you know what, I can wait, I can be patient. I will wait until it gets to a higher price and then I'll sell. There are other skins I have that I feel like aren't going to go that far in terms of price. Definitely not these Mr. Gingerbread kilts. No, 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 no. There is a very low quantity of these. These were introduced last year, Christmas 2020, and they are sitting at right now $4. There's hardly any of them on the market. And as you can see, I believe there was a buyout very recently. So they were sitting at around $3, then boom, big price jump. Now, yes, okay, was that a buyout? It doesn't look like. I think it's just because it was such a low quantity that it just didn't have anything left, and then the price bump was because that's all that was left. Nothing wrong with that. It's there. It happened. Now, if I were to just have a look at all the other gingerbread stuff, how low quantity is that? Well, it looks like everything is quite low quantity. So yeah, the gingerbread set is looking pretty viable right now. If I had money to spend, I probably would have bought some now. But, like I said, all of this should go up in price over the course of the next 7 to 14 days. So I'm not going to do anything with that. I'm going to wait a bit longer. These snowmen. So this is another Christmas item, not a skin. An item is a unique entity. It's not a reskin of anything. It's its own special, unique item. Sometimes they offer a nice cosmetic effect or reward. This is literally just a decorative snowman. It doesn't do anything. You just put him outside your base and he's there and it looks silly. That's that. What is the trajectory of this in the past? Now, it's gone quite high before and then it goes down instantly because it gets reintroduced, and it goes high again and then it goes down because it's reintroduced. Last year it didn't really go that high, and if you kind of follow the pattern from last year, we're kind of the same. So when I look at this, I now have a better idea of how far might this go. I don't think it's going to go that much higher. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to sell some now. So what I'll do is, don't flood the market. How many are there currently in the market? 69. Have a quick look. Right, so nobody has done a thick layer. There's no thick block here. No, okay, so that's good. It's nice and loose. Natural demand has slowly caused this to go up in price, but it hasn't gone up that much in price. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sell batches of 3. It's a bit more of a costly item. Not insanely costly, but, you know, to most people, for just a decorative item, they're probably not going to care that much. They probably look at this and think, I can pass. That's fine, but I kind of want some more money on this account, and out of everything I have, this is one of the candidates that I feel like it's fine to sell now because I don't feel like it's going to jump up in price that much. Move along, and what else do we have? We have these snowman hammers. Snowman hammers have been around for quite some time. I believe at least 2 different Christmases. Let's just have a quick look. I definitely remember buying some before. Right, there you go. So, yeah. This item was sold for around $2. And it has its highs, its lows, its highs. So, its high points before, around Christmas time, it wasn't very high for the Christmas that it reached the first time. But for the second one, when the OTV stuff happened, it reached about £2 here, or about almost $3 here. But then OTV event happened and it just jumped all the way up to about $5. So that's silly. This was an era where it was insanity. All of the Ruskin and item prices went up by a lot. You're probably never going to see that ever happen again. Not to this level. So I would say this is an anomaly. I don't need to worry about this. Let's focus the prices here, £1.73, and here £1.90. So right now we have 36 in the market, and we have quite a few here selling for just about £2.24. So these are already doing better than the previous Christmases. So I can sit here and say, you know what? I could list a few. Let's list 5. Now, I always have this rule. Never sell too high quantity of an item. What you want to do is sell at max batches of 5. If you're... Oh, no, don't type in 5. Sorry, that was a mistake. If you're really desperate, you can do 10. But you need to be aware, Rust skins aren't like CSGO and TF2 skins. We can't have a lot. The quantity really does matter. If the quantity is far too high, if there is a big fat wall right here, it's going to make investors not very keen to buy the item as an investment. It's going to put people off. So don't do too much. This is a constant problem with people, pretty much with every single skin. They don't realise that if they dump everything they own in one go, it's going to actually badly affect the item, the skin. It doesn't do anybody any favours, and it's not going to do you, the person who's trying to sell all that, any favours either. Sell them in small increments. There you go. Mine's just appeared right here. So, toy boxes. Okay. The decision to sell the snowman was something I had to accept, but I always had that December 16 deadline to consider, whereas selling the snowman hammer seemed logical at the time when I compared its current position to past dates of the previous years. But much like that Christmas tree garage door, were there other skins I felt the need to hold on to? Yep, keep moving, keep on moving. Keep on moving. Let's go. Alright, so Snowman AR. So the Snowman AR, this was a okay skin for an assault rifle. There are about 100 of them on the market. That is quite high. However, Christmas themed item means item goes up in price. Very simple. This came out last year and it hasn't done very well during the year. Of course, it's a Christmas item. What do you expect? It's only going to really do well around Christmas. However, it did do rather well during the summer. People felt the need to buy it during the summer. I don't know why. But yeah, selling for around £1.80 here. That is equal to about $2.50. Yet right now it is around £1.50. That is just under $2. Yep. So, I could sell them now. Because I bought mine for £1.30. I could get my money back. But I don't really need to. I can wait. I can wait a bit longer. It's got potential to go a bit further. I'm happy to wait. I'm not desperate. But I could trade this onto another account, such as this. That's only got £42, and it is in a position where it probably should start selling stuff and getting more money. And that's not the only account. As you can see here, I've got another account over here. And as you can see over here, I've got another account over here. And as you can see, I've got another account over here. I am very prepared to sell tons of stuff for a lot of money for just after Christmas. So in anticipation for Christmas, sell my Christmas skins and items. And then after Christmas, sell my generic skins and items. Wonderful. A little humble brag, have a look at that spacesuit that I bought for 4 pennies. Isn't that great? Perfect. So back to over here. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait on this for a bit longer. I'm in no rush. It's all good. I can wait for that. So even when it's December, I was still cautious to sell certain skins like the Snowman AR. I wanted to keep holding out until it got closer to Christmas because I anticipated the hype to continue and prices to rise even further. You also just saw me taking into consideration what accounts have more room to sell skins. This is why I had to spread around my skins onto various accounts, not just for the Christmas hype, but post-Christmas too. December 5. A bit brief for this day, but it was on this day I realised I should keep track of how much Steam wallet I had in each account. I was only able to get all the correct prices for December 2nd, not the 1st, but that shouldn't matter. What this will develop into is a tracker of sorts, keeping check of my funds. Obviously, to see my progress as it happens through the month, but also, at the end, I could calculate how much was earned. Can't forget about those Christmas items. As I had assumed, the prices of them did in fact increase, but I am risking it the closer I get to December 16. All up in the positive now. All of these are holiday Christmas items, special items for Christmas, and all of them are going back up in price. But on December 16th, they all most likely will be reintroduced with the first Christmas set of skins on December 16th for Rust Store. So yeah. December 12. Almost 2 weeks into December, and no longer was I holding back. It's selling time. 1427. And over here, this account. So this account has been doing very well with selling items in an appropriate manner. I've been selling in batches of 4 with the Christmas Tree Garage, selling small batches of the Fairy Tale box, and it's been going very nicely. I've also now started to try and sell my festive garlands. It's at a point now where in 4 days' time, it's very expected that they're going to reappear. So I've waited long enough, now I have to sell them. And I've been selling the snowman hammers. Just loads of stuff. It's been going very well. The evil snowman assault rifles have been selling quite nicely. Some of the snowmans here as well. They haven't reached as high as they have before, but I can't question it. I just have to sell. I have to sell before they appear on the Rust Store, because they will go down in price when they're reintroduced. So yeah, that's how well that's been going for. This account is now 294. Account number 6. Is down to 61. That's due to other purchases. And then account number 3, which has also been selling batches of stuff. It's now up to 116. Account number 2 bought something quite heavy, so it went down in price. It's down to 86. But account number 1 hasn't really been selling Rust stuff, but it's currently seated at £73. So let's just go to 74. Just a few things here and there. This is the current situation. The best account to have a look at is account number 7, which has gone from 53 to 158 to 294. 294 in 10 days. So I've raised over $300 just selling Christmas Rust items and skins. That is the current situation with that at the moment. Now let's do a copy. Let's take it over to here. Let's just... My sense of wanting to wait it out for certain skins and items keeps working in my favour. Prices were comfortably rising, which is perfectly fine with skins, but I had to start racing with selling my items now. SCMM was being very helpful for me in keeping track of past skins, as you can see. Let's have a look at Holidays Part 1. Pretty much all of these have risen up to the point where they are selling to almost their store price and above. Some of them probably going to take a bit longer compared to others. The Advent Calendar Garage Door is doing very nicely. It's slowly creeping back upwards. The Fairy Tale Box, per the price it was sold at, still hasn't really gotten close. But like I said, I buy ordered all of mine at a price where it was much cheaper compared to the price it was sold in the Rust Store for. So I'm still making profit. All of the Christmas stuff, let's have a quick look. All of the Christmas collection things, they are going up in price. As expected, we fully expected this. Festive garlands are currently at $7.10. I'm trying to sell mine. I really want to. Christmas door wreath is doing well. Christmas lights, the initial version of the lights, they're over $100. They are most likely never going to reintroduce these ever again. They don't really make light, they just glow, so it's a rare commodity. Feel free to buy them, but I don't think their value will go up much higher. Let's wait and see. Deluxe Christmas lights, of course, get brought back, and these actually make light. Sorry, I'm yawning. Giant candy decor hasn't been reintroduced for a while, and I don't know if they will be brought back. But they've suddenly really gone up in price. Wow. I had a ton of these, and yeah, they've just gone up and up and up. Literally, last year, they were selling for $1. No, that's incorrect. This is 2020, March 2020. These were selling for $1 each. Now they're selling for almost $10 each. Just goes to show how crazy things like this can be. Interesting, interesting. So we are still just under 2 weeks to go until Christmas, and we are 4 days away until the actual first release of the next skin set, aka the first batch of Christmas skins. And right now, Rust Store, it's doing alright. That Pixel sleeping bag probably is going to do very well in the near future. The Pixel set seems to be doing alright as a whole. December 15. It's the day before the Rust Store rotation, and everything isn't going according to plan. My festive garlands have been met with a certain problem. So, how are we as of now? Well, problems have arisen, sort of. Let's have a look at this account. So this account has been selling festive pudding rocks perfectly fine. We are getting closer and closer to the 16th. It's literally tomorrow. I give it maybe less than 24 hours and we start seeing the Christmas items and skins appearing on the market. In the Rust Store. So, I have quite a lot of garlands left, festive garlands. There is a problem. The festive garlands, they're not selling. They're not selling at all. It's becoming a problem. They are going down and down and down in price. They are selling for around $5.50 now. You can start to see the turn now. So it was up to about $7. Now it's going down to about $5.50. People have caught on that they need to sell them by tomorrow, and they're going lower and lower and lower in prices, and some of them are just dumping them to the highest buy order. So that's happening because literally the 16th is tomorrow, and the festive items will be reintroduced, including the festive garlands. So I might just have to dump them to the highest buy order. It's not a problem. I'm still making a nice profit. It's less than ideal, but it's better than nothing. I wasn't wrong about the price rising at a certain point, but it seems I failed to sell my stock at the optimal time for the best profit. No need to sulk about it though. Selling to the highest buy order was still good profit for the price I bought them for, so I'm fine with this. So that's out of the way. What do we have on here? We have, do we have the Santa doors? We do. This has become a problem. You will see in a second. This skin got super bottlenecked. This was always one of my best-selling, best go-to Christmas skins to buy during the summer and sell during Christmas. But this person right here has completely ruined everything. Why would you sell 32 at once? He has single-handedly caused this skin to become, like, well, capped Nobody's gonna make any money beyond this now because they have to wait until all these sell. And at the amount on the market right now, it's just not well, it's definitely not going to make investors want to buy it. It's very unfortunate. You should never sell in batches of more than 10. And this is what this guy did, and these aren't selling anymore now. People don't want them. And I still have mine on here. Wishful thinking now, innit? I can't sell them for that price. It's not going to happen. So that's turned into a problem, and I might have to sell to the highest buy order after Christmas. We'll see what happens, but yeah, this guy ruined everything for me. Unfortunate. You're not going to win at You're not going to win at everything. You'll do a bit better compared to everybody else, and you should be happy. This is why I'm clearing up all my other skins and items on sale. I don't want too many on the market because it makes people not want to buy them in terms of investing, or they don't want to buy something that they feel is going to drop in price very quickly. However, one thing I'll always be annoyed with are dumpers. Dumpers, my enemy. Whether it's down to their selfishness or inexperience in selling, it has badly affected me and my investment into the Santa front doors. As I stated, by making a large wall of quantity, you are basically capping the price of the skin and killing off the momentum it had with the natural demand of Christmas. Why would you, as someone who wants to sell their skins for a profit, do this? I'll never know. But aside from that, there was a notable positive surprise for me still. So let's have a look at the Cold Hunter items, which I believe people have mistaken to be festive, like Christmas oriented, because, well, it's very clearly made of ice. But they've had quite a fun history. Just look at that. They were sold in a store for $4, and then they've just simply gone down. They got very bad during the middle of October, around the middle of October to November. They have barely been over $1, barely. But recently, they've been rising in price. So at one point, just a couple of days ago, these were selling for around $2. Now they've gone down. So I guess people got a bit too reactionary and thought, oh yeah, I'm going to make a quick dollar. Those people aren't very smart, because I fully expect this to go even higher in price. Same as the Cold Hunter bow. Same situation, released for about $4, goes down, gets to around October time, doesn't do very well, and in November it starts to pick up and up and up. And same situation yesterday, almost selling for around $2, and now it's gone down in price because people just kind of jumped onto it in terms of trying to dump what they can. Sell what they can, because obviously you don't see any mad dumpers right now. Thompson has been probably doing the best out of all of them. It got pretty bad around September time. This is the textbook reaction of Operation Riptide releasing for Counter-Strike Global Offensive during just the last week of September. Down. So this was selling for around $2.50 at one point, but it's been rising, and now they're selling for around $4. So it's been a nice slow rise in price, and I fully expect these to go higher and higher. The demand seems to be there. Buy orders are being applied. The price has been steadily going up. So it's good. So yeah, even if the skins are just winter oriented, they have been going up in price. Frosty has been another one. Frosty Assault Rifle and MP5, they weren't doing very good quite recently. The Frosty AR at one point was selling for around just over $1. Now, as you look at it, it's selling for, well, it was very recently, same situation as the Cold Hunter, selling for almost $2. Now it's selling for less because these people have been undercutting each other. I don't know why. Again, not very experienced people. That's what happens. MP5 has been doing very nicely. It went down here around $1.50 here, but it's been climbing up and up and up and up, and now it's selling for around $3. So it's doubled in price. Very nice to see, and it's definitely going to go higher and higher. So, good stuff. With this rise in price for these skin sets, one might initially believe it's in association with winter and Christmas themes, but this could also be the early rumblings for the post-Christmas momentum. This is something that we'll be seeing soon. However, our focus is currently still with the Christmas content, and tomorrow is the first week of Christmas content in the Rust store for 2021. December 16. It's finally here, December 16, and you know what that means. The Rust store is rotating, and we're going to see the new Christmas update in Rust. So let's take a look to back then as it happens. And voila! I've refreshed, and now we see all the things that are on the new set of the weekly Rust store skins. So we have reintroduced items, that being the special Christmas store wreaths and your snowman, your Santa beards, snow machine, festive garlands, but of course we have our new skins, so Evil Snowman L96, Gingerbread Double Door, Nutcracker Helmet, Nutcracker Kilt, Nutcracker Vest, and of course, because there's so many skins and items, 18 in total, there's a page 2, Snowman Furnace. Oh, a new item, a new special item. Well, the inevitable happened. A new batch of Christmas skins with Christmas items also being reintroduced, as expected. The Snowman helmet got introduced as well, a new Christmas item, and of course it's abnormal. My actions on December 15th proved to be good in that I managed to sell the items that I had, because now all those items would become capped at the price they are sold for in store. In my opinion, it was better to have made some profit rather than miss out and end up with no profit at all, because I can always buy order more items in the future at a cheap price again and repeat the process. For example, let's take a look at the Neon Sign Pack, which technically isn't a Christmas themed item, but it got reintroduced with the Christmas batch. It usually takes a while for people to realise the items have been reintroduced, but eventually people will catch on. We were actually keeping an eye on the Neon Sign Packs. Yep, they're going down. They're going down pretty hard. Yeah, yeah, it begins. Literally, we looked at this about, I don't know, 10 minutes ago. Yeah, people starting to dump. It's beginning. So that was an item that had risen to around $25 on the Steam market, but was reintroduced to the store at $15 and then fell down to match that price. It's not all doom and gloom though. The surprise of the Evil Snowman L96 being added led to a nice change to the Evil Snowman AR. So this year, December 16th, 2021, we've just had the Evil Snowman L96 skin appear in the Rust store today, with the first batch of Christmas skins and items. And with the existence of this appearing, we've seen the Evil Snowman Assault Rifle jump up in price, almost doubling instantly. So just because of that, it went from around just over $2 to now easily going up to about $3.50, maybe more. Everything's being bought out. Insanity. But it's Christmas. So that ends the first milestone in December. Next week, on December 23, will be the next Rust store rotation with the second batch of Christmas skins. There likely won't be any significant change in pattern for skin prices. The Christmas items will now be capped though at store price and will be present in the store next week too. The Christmas update had been released. Students will soon start finishing their school terms, and soon regular adults will get their Christmas break, and the momentum continues on. December 22. Here I am, 3 weeks into December, and doing rather well, and I've slowly been selling quite a lot of skins on my accounts, as you can see. So the video content for this day is actually the last we will see before a bit of a time skip. This is because I went home to visit family for Christmas and I couldn't take my whole computer setup with me. But no need to worry, as I feel you've seen enough to understand how well Christmas anticipation fares. So how about we take a look at the profits so far over the course of 3 weeks? Ah. There you go. £1,274. Over the course of 3 weeks, I've made £1,274. If I was to relate that to dollars, that would equal to, right now, $1,701. 0.43, but I'll just keep it to that. In 3 weeks' time, just by selling the investments I made throughout the year, the Christmas ones that I've held on to for over a year almost. Literally, I bought the majority of these during around springtime. And I've held on to them, I've held on to them, I've held on to them. And now, as you can see, I have now made £1,274 profit. And that equals to around $1,700. There's still more time left to go. Madness, I know, but like... that is the result so far. So I think I got some of those price differences wrong in that clip. I must have mistyped slightly for account 1 and 2, but the result is near enough the same, so my apologies. Still, to see around $1,700 worth of profit in about 3 weeks seems rather impressive. I wonder if I'll be able to top that. But one thing I want to get a final look into is the festive garlands. I might have made a mistake. Festive garlands, remember this? I was on about these a lot. £2.59. Mine, I bought a ton of them for a lot less than that, didn't I? I was hoping these were going to reach around $10. They did not. That's unfortunate. They only managed to reach around $7 to $8. They just didn't have the momentum behind them, which is unfortunate, but that's just the way things are. And now, I can't do much now, can I? Yeah, they reached around $7 to $8. And now I had to wait another year. And unfortunately, I wasn't very fast enough to realise that I actually still had some in my inventory over here. So, yeah, I missed out on making some money there. That will be the end of the anticipation part of Christmas momentum, because now we'll be looking at post-Christmas momentum. Now, it doesn't matter anymore about themed Rust skins and items. Nope. Because everything, and I mean everything, will be rising in price. Post-Christmas is one of, if not, the best time to sell your Rust stuff for maximum profit, excluding those holiday-themed skins and items, of course. I waited all year saving up my buy-order purchases for this, and I hope you'll enjoy what you see. Post-Christmas momentum. So I visited home with my laptop in tow, so all I'll have are mostly screenshots for this, but I can explain my thought process and planning as it happened. Christmas came and went, and so much money was spent. So here I'm selling all my stock, whilst racing against the clock. I could continue to rhyme, but I really don't have the time. So before I go through with detailing everything, I thought it'd be interesting to not just keep track of how much was made from sales, but how much total quantity was sold after a certain period of time. So before I left for Christmas, I checked to see how much I had in my inventories, and on December 23, I had in total 21,334 Rust skins and items. That's a lot of buy orders. So quite quickly I was selling a ton. A lot of Steam wallet was being made, and I was starting to completely fill up my accounts to the maximum wallet amount, which for me is £1,500. I'm sure you can understand this simple problem. Right now is the best time to sell my Rust skins and items, but I'm filling up my accounts, so what do I do to allow myself to keep selling? Well, I started buying things. A lot of things. Now, the reason I go for Counter-Strike skins is due to it being the strongest and most reliable economy to convert my funds to. My knowledge of knowing CSGO prices peak usually in the summer from past experience helps with my aim to invest into something that will retain its value. I want something to behave like a bond. To improve my chances in a skin that fits that category, I invested my money into discontinued CSGO skins that only dropped during past operations to begin with. The hope being that they slowly but surely will rise in price. But for now, the main benefit is that after spending my Steam wallet, I can continue to keep selling Rust skins to make more profits. Now this actually led to an interesting development. You may have seen during the progress of money on my accounts how two of them had a lot more to start with. Well, those two accounts were the only accounts I could do buy orders with at the time, and their total buy order amount was very high. So, with account 4, I did many more buy orders to completely reach my limit, which ended up being around £14,700 total buy order amount. This led to me exhausting my account, it being in a position where it can't really sell anymore, with it being very close to the maximum allowed Steam wallet, and the total buy order completely filling up to the limit. So, has this account become fodder? Can anything be done? Well no, just because I can't buy order doesn't mean I can't buy directly. Remember, menu style pages allow you to just buy skins. So I opted to invest into the Norse collection in CSGO, namely the Emerald Yumaganda Desert Eagle. The exhausted account's remaining Steam wallet will still easily be able to fulfill any buy orders, so there is no reason to worry. I base my choice in buying these due to the recent summer rise it had back in June 2021. So the idea is, buy valuable CSGO content that likely will rise in price again, and if anything happens in the future where I require funds, I can just sell it back. After buying these CSGO skins, I could then continue to sell Rust skins and items over and over again. I even exhausted a second account by filling it up with some buy orders too. CSGO was having a sale at the time for its major tournament, so I also opted to get some valuable stickers that had good potential in the future to rise in price. So with two accounts exhausted, I just kept buying things and continued to keep selling Rust stuff. I was selling Rust skins and items so well that I thought it was a good time to buy a Valve Index. It was during the Steam Winter Sale, so I also received well over 100 of the special Winter Steam cards. Well, I had fun making the badges many times. Other options in spending money into items that should retain or gain in value led me to Team Fortress 2. For Christmas, it had a 50% discount on some of its valuable paints. I've bought into them in previous post-Christmas situations like this. They usually return to their original price around the summertime, so it's a safe long-term option that I'm fully aware of. So, I spent over $400 in them, and ended up with a lot of bonus Manco store packages because of it. And then, eventually, it was January 1st, 2022. I thought that it was probably time to figure out how much was sold during December. So first thing I decided to do was calculate what was spent recently at the time. As recorded ever so nicely on my laptop, you can see I wrote down all the direct purchases on the exhausted accounts. The result was around $3,450 that had been spent in total. But that was just those two accounts. I also had to take into consideration the Valve Index purchase and the TF2 paints. Which leads us to Christmas momentum results. By adding up the amount of funds that was gained on each account and taking into consideration all the funds that was spent so I could continue to sell Rust stuff, I had raised over $14,000 through December. This was the first year I actually kept track of things, and I was very impressed to see how much was actually made. The only flaw to this was I didn't properly track how much I spent on every single Rust skin and item to figure out actual profit. I just know my general buy order averages, And I'm fairly sure to say, on average, every skin went up around 50% during this post-Christmas momentum. So, that's a great way to end the video, right? Nah, I'm having way too much fun buying stuff. Hey, you heard me, I had over 21,000 Rust skins to sell. I'm simply helping myself to sell more things. Is that so bad? January 2022. So, technically this is still post-Christmas momentum, but I thought it might be best to separate this as I had returned home from Christmas and I was back with my computer. So, I returned home and calculated how many skins I sold between December 23 to January 5. Or when I left for December 23rd to go home for Christmas, see my family and all that, I had, when I left, 21,334 Rust skins and items. During that time period, where I've managed to sell tons and tons of skins, I am now down to 13,946. So, how many skins did I manage to sell? 21,334 take away. I sold over 7,000 skins in just less than 2 weeks' time. Yeah, that's what I did. But I knew this was the time to sell. See, I wasn't joking when I said it's the best time to sell Rust stuff. The demand is here and the prices are at their highest. I actually have a good visual to show this off. Let's take a look at the weapon barrel, for instance. The weapon barrel is a great way to see the health of the Rust economy, because when all weapons become valuable, and of course pretty much weapons are in general one of the more valuable items to have, then the weapon barrel will go up in price because there is suddenly a much more demand to open it. So what you see here, that big rise was last year. That was the OTV event. So when we had that big jump, things cooled off in around April time, and then it rose back up again for summer 2021. But what happened? This is the point where the CSGO operation came out, and I've mentioned that many times. So you can see that slump, and it just went down and down and down. But then it started to change around mid-November, and then it started to go up and up and up and up, and then it shot up. Not a massive huge jump, but still a very nice one. Literally as it got to Christmas time, and then it just rises up to around $16. This happens every single year. This happens all the time. I knew it was going to happen. I was prepared for it. I waited for it. And lo and behold, it happens again. So let's skip 2020. Let's have a look for 2019. Here we go. Do you see that? Before, back in 2019, November 2019, this was selling for around $5. And then as it got to past Christmas, bam. See how it dropped a bit and then shot up? Christmas again. Now yes, not a huge jump, but back then that was almost double. So every Christmas you see the value of all skins and items go up. Now I've told you the many conditions that can fall into what causes this. Number one being the player count. So when loads of people come back, when they're not working, when they're not at school during the Christmas period, They are playing games, and of course they're most likely playing Rust. So when loads of people are suddenly back, invested into the game again, playing the game, that is when the prices will rise, because when they're all back, they're going to want to buy skins, they want to have stuff to run around in, they're going to want to look good. All prices go up. Now, of course, with Christmas as well, we get loads of gifts. We get loads of money as gifts. So with that money, what do you spend it on? Do you want to... Well, of course, you're going to buy skins with it. So, yeah, let's just roll straight into that. And so it continued. I just kept buying things and selling Rust stuff as the momentum was still going strong into January. We all struggle sometimes. Well, not me right now. I'm selling all this Rust stuff. Bam! So that happened quite quickly, didn't it? I literally listed this, not even 30 minutes ago, and it's already selling instantly. Like, done. So I've instantly gained £60, like just like that. I kid you not. I just went and bought. I just went and spent like $150, $160 on these Havoc Collection CSGO skins, and literally within about half an hour, instantly filling up the gap that made by selling Rust stuff. Madness. So now, I should bring up a problem I had to deal with again. Can you guess? Dumpers. Yep, they appeared again, and you shouldn't be surprised by that. Here, I took some screenshots during my time away, and as you can see, the vast majority of the stock on the Steam market was being sold by a single individual. Most inexperienced people see prices starting to rise, and then they unload their entire stock, killing the momentum those skins and items had and capping their prices. It's a negative for all traders and the individual selling them. Why would you cap your own profits? This actually kept happening well into January. It's something I should make a video about in the future, so keep an eye out. Right then, let's wrap this up. So you shouldn't be very surprised to know that I kept track of all the purchases I made after Christmas, all for the purpose of ensuring that I keep selling Rust stuff whilst it was at its best price to sell. So, let's take a look at the final results. It was quite the shopping spree. Sadly, no Hedge Mage gloves at a reasonable price for me. So now, how about we add up and figure out how much was spent in total? Ever since after Christmas, I've been selling tons and tons of Rust skins and items. And of course, I maxed out all of my accounts, all 7 accounts, which is allowed to have a maximum Steam wallet of £1,500. So, what I did was, to make space, I started buying out a bunch of CSGO skins, very expensive ones. But that wasn't enough. I also bought 2 Valve indexes, and I've just calculated how much money I spent in terms of CSGO and TF2 things. Then I took into consideration the 2 Valve indexes, so I have spent £10,296.91, but let's convert that to dollars, and that is equal to $14,127.05. That is how much money I have spent in Steam over the past 3 weeks, because of now it is January 13. Now, to clarify, that was the amount of money I spent after Christmas to January 13, just less than 3 weeks. Not gonna lie, it was quite enjoyable to go on a shopping spree. Let's try and get a better visual on the CSGO inventory after all that, and that's quite a lot of souvenir packages. And with that, let's go find out how many Rust skins and items were sold in total for this. Hello there. So on December 23, 2021, I decided I should add up all my Rust skins and items from all my inventories and figure out how many I had in total. And the answer was 21,334, right there. So then I thought, you know what, let's add up all the skins that I now currently have, as it is January 13, 2022. and that is 11,389. So to figure out how many skins and items I've sold over the past, 3 to 4 weeks, take away that, I have sold 9,945 skins and items out of Rust over the past 3 to 4 weeks. That is how much I've done. So it was around mid-January I noticed demand had started to cool off and prices started to wind down. So this is why I reckon it's a good stopping point. Conclusion. Now we're at the conclusion. So what did we learn? The Rust economy usually follows a routine pattern through the year. When most players are actually playing the game, more people are invested into the game and natural demand causes skin and item prices to rise. So what time periods does this usually happen in? The summer and the Christmas time. With summer vacation, a lot of students are out of school and playing the game more, and using their spare funds buying skins to kit out their base and look good when roaming around. But in my opinion, the best time to sell is Christmas, based on 2 factors. 1. The anticipation for Christmas, where all Christmas and winter related skins and items will gradually rise in price in the lead up to the holiday. 2. With Christmas, people receive money as gifts, and what are they going to spend that money on? Yep. This of course leads to another price rise for all Rust skins and items as people spend their Christmas money on them, something I've witnessed every year during my time buying and selling in the Rust economy. Those 2 factors, paired with students not in school again and most people in the Western world not at work towards the end of December, leads to more people playing games and of course Rust. So there you have it. That's Christmas momentum. My apologies if this video seemed a bit all over the place and repetitive. I didn't actually plan for this video, but when I realised I recorded myself a lot during this and then saw the results I got, I felt like it was a good idea to show people. I mean, you need to see it being a success to consider taking part of the Rust economy, right? That said, it's still early 2022. Are you going to try investing? Best of luck and have fun trading. Ta-da! So, got another one of these to add to the collection. I'll go throw that in the pile.